This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
Hi, it's Eva Longoria, and let's be real. After 40, we should ask for more from our skincare. I swear by Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer by L'Oreal Paris. With vitamin C, pro-retinol, and hyaluronic acid, it reduces my wrinkles, firms, and brightens. And it's not a procedure. It's just a hardworking moisturizer.
Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer by L'Oreal Paris. Grab it today in fragrance-free or with SPF 30. Available at your local Target.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight? Aha! Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at canva.com.
Pie in the Sky Media.
Three, two, one. We're live. Hello, Criminal Mischief Nation. Welcome back to another episode, bonus episode of Criminal Mischief with Carolyn and Branden. Sorry, it's a day late. Life just got in the way for me and my wonderful co-host, Carolyn Osorio. Great to see you, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? A day late and $1 short.
A day late, no, and $1 extra. Okay, this is going to be a great episode.
Extra. Okay.
Raining in LA for the first time in what seems like a year. And as they always say, we needed it. Okay, great. We always need it, but it's a desert climate, so we're doing fine. But it rained like crazy this morning, and all I was worried about, the outdoor animals that we feed.
What?
Yeah, like where do they
go? They're used to the rain?
Not the cat, not the outdoor cat, not Shorty.
Are these the ones, the neighbors' cats that you're trying to act like are strays and are trying to make your own? Are those the cats and the animals you're talking about?
No, the raccoons. I assume the raccoons have a safe, warm, dry place to go. The squirrels,
probably underneath your house, like tearing up the
squirrels. The squirrels. I know where the squirrels' nests are, so they're okay. And but you know, they rely on us for probably a large percentage of their food. You know, so if they don't eat from us during the day, like I worry about them.
You must be like so well loved in your neighborhood.
I'm moderately well loved. Yeah.
You know what's funny is I think I've talked about this before, but there was like a daily show that they had this woman who was feeding these eagles, and eagles are not like they're vultures kind of.
Scavengers.
Like, they're scavengers, yeah. Yes. And it was just so funny because I picture you like that one day, like 20 years from now.
Well, you know,
she's surrounded by these huge, because they're huge creatures. I mean,
there's one animal celebrity guy that does like the talk show circuit who's terrific, right? Just an animal lunatic. And he describes eagles as vultures, but with a better publicity agent.
Yeah, for
sure.
Better
PR rep. Yeah. So I would expect him. I suspect that he's correct on that. But so that's what I've been doing, worrying about the outside animals, and otherwise just working. How about you?
Well, we're prepping for Halloween. Now is the time that
I did all the Halloween decorations on my house. Yep.
Spectacular. I took 2 of my kids to the Halloween store together.
Did you say spooktacular?
I did.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and I just snorted.
Okay. I heard that too. I was going to let that go, but since you brought it up,
you know what? It is. This is my favorite holiday. This is my favorite holiday, and
this is the best time of year. October is the best month of the year.
It's like the leaves are turning. It's just a great time of year. But I took 2 of my kids to the Spirit, and it was just I just have so much fun with them there. You know, they had the like "Make America Great" thing with the long hair.
Oh, nice. The
And
mullet hat.
yes, and my boys were like posing, and I was laughing so it was just
Yeah.
hilarious. It's
Yeah.
just fun. It's just fun.
What are they going to be for Halloween?
Well, those two are gonna be one of them is gonna be this weird clown
Hmm.
thing that was like I can't remember what the actual
Hmm.
what the clown is, but it's a character in something. And then the other one is like obsessed with gosh, what's that one with the crazy games?
Good
Um
games.
Squid Games, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be the pink guy
Yeah.
with the mask. Um
That's terrifying. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he's and we got there in time to where they fit, like each one's
Yep.
costume, like there's still like stuff's running out, but
Yeah,
it
sure.
all, huh?
Great. That's great. That's great. My girls
Yeah,
are one's being a bat in a mini skirt and the other one's being a sailor in a mini skirt. It's just about the mini skirts.
I know you always have just accept it. When
I
are
don't
you gonna
accept
just
it. I will
accept
fight
it?
against it forever. I will fight it and fight it and fight it and
And
fight it.
that's only going to make them want to do it more.
Maybe. I still think I'm going to win. And my daughter got asked to homecoming. I guess
Yay.
homecoming thing is they make signs now to ask a girl to homecoming.
My son's making it for his girlfriend right now.
What is that all about? When we were kids, it's like, hey, you want to go to the dance? Okay, great.
No, it's
See you
got
there.
to have lots of bells and whistles. In fact, I went on this whole odyssey with my son last year, and I was like, "You better love your mom," because it was because I'm not one that like, "Oh my gosh, let's go do it." Oh my gosh,
Right.
like I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll help you, but you have to do everything I say.
Yeah, see,
That
my
kind
wife is far more enthusiastic about this stuff than me. I'm like, who gives a shit? Just have them say, "Do you want to go to the dance?"
of.
Why all the theater? Why the
Well,
pageantry?
I love that. I think that I love that. I like watching my son be a good boyfriend, and I
Yeah,
like
okay.
guiding him toward, you know, um,
And how old
guiding.
is he?
He just turned 18,
Okay.
so he's a senior. But like he's been dating her for gosh, over a year now. So, and she's, I love seeing that side of him too, because he's my first, my oldest son. So I
Yeah.
have five, and then he's the oldest of my three boys.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch him grow in that way, but he's not wearing mini skirts or anything. So,
Yeah, I'm just not ready for it yet, I think,
which would be okay if he was.
but it's happening. It would be fine. Well, I'm just not ready for it.
Well, did she like is the guy that is asking her someone she likes? So is she happy?
Yes, yes, and that kid, yeah, whatever. I mean,
Okay, well, you should be happy for her.
no, I shouldn't. I should be
Why?
watching out for her. I should be
Why?
warning her. Men are
No, you should be
wolves.
warning the kid that brought over the blanket. I still remember that to the
He knows.
party.
Yeah, he knows. That kid's out. That kid's out.
I know, but I'm saying that's the one you need to worry about, not the one
Oh,
who's making.
this kid, the new kid. I mean, new. It's been like 3, 4 months. Um, he's a junior. Okay,
Mhm.
goes to a different school. So he's a TikToker.
Okay.
Right? And he's got like millions of followers on TikTok.
Okay.
He's an Italian kid. And listen, I'll give it to him. His hair is his gift, without a doubt. Okay. And he makes all of this money. He's got a hair brand sponsorship. Okay.
Okay.
Where he
Okay.
makes these TikToks where he's got this outdoor shower. He has his shirt off. Okay. And he does stuff like, if you want your hair to go from this, and then it cuts and his hair looks beautiful. He goes to this, use this. And they show him like washing his hair and like slow-mo with the Oh, what? Yeah. And that's what he does. And they pay him for it. And he drives like an Audi and he's like this big shot. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Trouble.
that's that's that
Trouble.
that's a little extra,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you have to appreciate that he's doing something, right?
You say like, are you telling me to recognize the hustle? Is that what you're saying? I don't. Okay. I don't. I should
Why?
probably, but I just, it's a dad's job. I'm
To
against it.
support his daughter. I'm
Yeah.
saying that is a little extra, but you can always look at things from like whatever view you want.
Oh
If
yeah.
you want
I'm
to
looking
see
at it from the combative, get your hands away from my daughter angle.
I I understand.
Okay.
And I think that, like, I get that. I totally do.
Yeah.
But I also think that, hey, that's pretty cool that he's taken his great hair and his creativity and he's
It is
making
great
money.
hair.
And
Again, it's magnificent hair, I should say.
I mean, what is it better if he'd be just sitting there playing video games all day? And yet
Uh,
he's not too cool to make a sign for his girl. Like there's lots of
don't
things.
call her that. Don't call her his girl, please.
Okay. Hey,
All right, let's move on from this. I'm not comfortable with this line of questioning.
hey, you brought it up, Patrick. Patrick. Oh my gosh,
Patrick.
I'm acting like you're my son, okay? That's okay.
All right,
Get
so let's listen. Let's talk about this because this is an interesting story, the back staircase. Um,
like it absolutely is. Yeah. Had you
and
heard about
talk
it?
about the left turn. Whoa, and all of a sudden we're in Germany. Like I did not see that coming at all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that they were a Brady Bunch family. I thought they had the five kids together. And then another layer of the onion gets peeled back and like, oh, some are his, some are hers. Oh, wait. Not only are not they not all his, there's another woman, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He gets the kids and she's dead in almost the exact same fucking way. All right, so that was weird. But let's back it up. Let's back it up. Let's back it up. Okay. So he was a
Okay.
Marine.
Okay, first
Stole,
of all, had you ever heard of the story before?
I'd never heard of the story. I'd never,
Okay,
ever, ever
okay,
heard of the story. Okay.
okay, okay.
All I kept thinking of is that they reminded me of the family from the most recent season of White Lotus, North Carolina, money,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Tim, all right. Remember her? Parker
I
Posey
just
was so
don't
good.
know if I wouldn't want to live.
I wouldn't want to live. I think I'm too old to be able to handle that. Um, that was good. So that's what I was thinking. And
Okay.
it was cool. It was like a successive series of the rug being pulled out from under you as the listener because they're
Mm,
presented as this great family and super successful and he's this great author and had a big bonus and buys a house and she's an engineer and great and they both were college graduates and they met each other and everything was awesome. But then again, you realize put any family under the microscope and you're going to see chinks in the armor. You're going to see the warts if you look for them, right? And that's the problem that I tell the
yes.
kids with this online culture. What you're seeing on Instagram, what you're seeing online isn't the real person's lives, right? Like the TikTok kid with the great hair,
Mhm.
he's got that's not his life. He doesn't spend his life washing his hair and making money for TikTok. He's got homework and he's got chores and he gets grounded and get like and all that. So that's what the kind of analogy that I drew with this is that there's the life that they show you, and then there's the reality. And the reality of it was they weren't happy. The reality of it was they were under financial pressure. The reality of it was, that he had this whole hidden life, right? That he liked sleeping with dudes, you know, and he felt like he had to hide it. So there's some sympathy for him there, like was he not being his authentic self this whole time he was married to a woman, So there's so many irons in the fire here, just in terms of storytelling. That it was, I
Mhm.
understand how you were bleary eyed, and and needed to take a break from composing the story. I get it. I get it. So how
Well,
did you find
the
this?
thing. Well, I found it with the French documentarian. Like I stumbled on it a long time ago and I was riveted
Yeah.
by the footage because it was like unfolding. I can't remember exactly, but it was like this idealized life and this, their whole, and then it was like one thing after another, like, okay, first, this stolen valor, and then it's like kind of chipped away, like you said. And back to your point about the online stuff is that I was listening to there's a podcast called Diary of a CEO. I don't
Oh,
know if
he's
you've ever.
great. Yeah, he's terrific.
Yeah, so he had a guest on and it was I'm spacing on her name, but she's like a really just popular sex therapist and also couples therapist. And she talked a lot about our culture and how online dating has just become this horrific thing for society because people are so swiping all the time that they're not going out and meeting people. I mean, anyway, the way that she was just because everything is so easy for us. Everything is just right
Carolyn,
there.
I have a story about that happened an hour and a half ago at my house. Okay,
What do you mean?
we have a guest house, a rental property on
Yeah.
our property. Okay, there's a woman staying there now who's apparently very active in online dating.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's always guys. Okay, and sometimes they knock on the main house door by accident. Very nice,
Yeah.
and that happened tonight. And so I come up to the door. She had already headed him off and said, "No, I'm over here." Right. So didn't see me. But I walked outside as they're walking down the driveway and they are like already embracing. And I swear to God, I hear her say, do you know my name? Do you know what my name is?" And he's like, I don't, yeah, like that, like already like being
Oh
physical.
gosh.
And she pulls back a little bit to make sure that he knows what her name is. Yeah. And then they
You know,
laughed. Yeah.
but yeah, but in this scenario, when she was talking too, was that a lot of like it's like record levels of like men just being so unhappy, like they're swiping so many times and they're not. This one guy was like swiped. He made this whole big thing about how he swiped 2 million times and got like maybe one coffee date,
Yeah.
and that kind of became his thing where it's like she's like, and I was thinking the same thing that she was thinking, like, why are you making this kind of a badge of honor that you swiped this many times? It's like whatever you're doing isn't working. Your profile,
Yeah, well,
change your profile.
there's another thing out there. Another guy, I probably saw him on Diary of a CEO, like Professor G or something like that. Super smart, really tell it like it is kind of guy, uh,
Yeah.
who's talking about the dating landscape for men. That it's
Mhm.
like the top 10% of men command like all of the available women. Okay.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
because they know how likely they are to get dates, they're not incentivized to be in a relationship. They'll just keep
Hmm.
dating and having a good time. Whereas women are incentivized to be in a relationship. Okay. And they don't realize that it's the lower quality of man, and according to them, when you use the words lower quality, that
Yeah.
are much more likely to commit to them. Right.
Right.
And
No, I
there's
know. And that's what's messing everything up
yeah.
because they're going after these high value men and they're all going after the same ones and they're totally ignoring,
Yeah.
this the regular guys.
And this guy went
And
into the numbers. He went into the numbers like 80% of women won't date a man shorter than them. Okay. And
well, I think that's been like that forever.
sure, but what the
I don't
difference
think that's something new.
is that historically over the last 100 years, women are getting taller and men aren't. Okay. As as a species,
I
women are
know, and these things are changed. I mean, it was so sad because it was like they were saying like in Japan, I think it's like 40% of men over a certain age are still
yeah,
virgins.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't quote me on those numbers, but it was
No,
a
no, no, but it's
startling.
crazy stuff in Japan. Like it's they're an industrialized first world, very wealthy nation that are in population decline because people just aren't having sex
I know, and it's just because they can get all this stuff online. They're having sex, they're just doing it by
by
themselves.
themselves or
And
AI or
I
robots, sex
know, and it's
robots.
it's like
Yeah,
I actually had to turn it off because
yeah,
I just couldn't hear it. I was like, this is so like it's and then it was also saying about how men are really like they're not like they're wired to be providers, and if they get everything they want and they're not having families, like it's like the highest level of suicide
yep,
that there's ever been with healthy young men
yep.
because and anyway she did these stats much better, but it was just again back to the story about these lives where people post these photos of they're just like living their best life, and it's like you
All
don't know
bullshit.
what
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
all
know what
bullshit.
that's about,
Yep, yep. She turns up, the wife, Kathleen, turns up dead at the bottom of the back stairs in this mansion, and there's blood splatter and blood spray everywhere, and
everywhere
everywhere.
everywhere.
She fell down the steps. She fell down the steps, and that happened. And I'm sitting there going, all right, there's something that we're not hearing because how do you get superficial scratch marks that make you bleed out, but no skull fracture from falling down the stairs.
Okay, these
So I
weren't
knew
superficial. These were deep
they're
and
deep.
long.
Right, they're
Yeah,
deep. Right.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
deep, but still
yeah,
relatively they're flesh wounds. Any
yeah,
flesh wound on the head's going to bleed a lot, of course.
yeah.
And so that's what it was. I'm like, all right, I got to wait because there's got to be more to this than just that, you know.
Okay.
And there was, but then there kind of wasn't because that whole you tricked us again by playing that whole long clip of the forensic blood expert testimony who was then discredited.
I know.
So it's so weird.
It
And I
is.
didn't quite understand what you were getting at when they found the fireplace tool. Were you implying that it was planted or that the cops just didn't look well enough for it? Like, did they
I
look and
mean,
it wasn't there? And
I
then
think
someone
that there
goes,
could
oh,
be,
it was here the whole time.
I
You
think
missed
it
it.
could be conspiracy theorists abound. It's just another layer to it. But it was apparently in the garage. I'm sure they did forensic testing on it. There was no blood on it. There
Right.
was no battering wounds of like, there was no ticks in the metal, So I think it was just one of those things where they were so convinced that's what it was and it was gone and here it is in the garage. Now, I think that he had bail the entire time, so he was still living in, he was on bail I think through the whole thing. He wasn't in jail. So I don't know. It's just kind of like another, they planted their flag with this poker and then the trial's almost over and you would be thinking, well, that's pretty compelling evidence for the defense that they found it, so it should have it should have given massive reasonable doubt. But I think, I don't know, what do you think now that if you wouldn't have known, you're a juror, what would you have done before you found out about the discredited blood expert who, you
Oh,
know,
could probably convicted, but only because of the reasons I stated before about the inconsistent wounds with falling down the stairs.
Mhm.
And then also the guy just he didn't have to steal valor. He had a silver star and a bronze star. Why say I had two purple hearts? Like what is that? And I'm not in the military, and so don't skewer me on this, but wouldn't the purple heart be the least valor inducing of the three medals? You could get a
You
purple
know,
heart
I
if you I don't know, whatever, for any injury, you know?
I think that it shows he's a storyteller and making up lies too.
Yeah, I
Like
guess.
when I think of Michael
It's just
Peters,
that part of the stolen valor didn't make sense. Like, what did he gain from that? Was it for sympathy?
I think it was just his psychological thing. Like he liked, I could so picture him, pontificating at these parties and being the center of attention and loving having a crowd around him
Yeah,
and telling these stories and all that. You know how you've seen people like that at parties. I mean,
sure.
I just usually I'm going in the other direction because
Yeah,
like people like that are just like I don't want to.
right.
It's like the stage and I think he just got caught up in his whole thing of like, oh yeah, a purple heart. I think that maybe that just sounds like something more impressive to people. A
Like you're
purple
actually,
heart.
but yeah, I was gonna say like you're actually in the shit that you got wounded, but you get a silver star, a bronze star for valor. You're in the shit. You're
Yeah,
already
no, I
there.
know. But I think that that's insight into
Yeah,
his psychology because why and that's why I put that in there because like why would you do that?
right.
You don't have to, but why? It's like adding more butter on something.
Yeah. But
You
what
know,
I didn't have on my bingo card was an angry owl attack. Okay. And I found that honestly, I know it's funny, but I found that the most convincing. She had owl feathers in her hand, like she was trying to get a fucking owl off of her head.
you know,
There's an owl lives in my neighborhood. Its hand is as big as mine, okay, with big talons and shit.
yeah.
Absolutely fuck you up.
No, for real. I
Yeah,
know. I think that and what was weird about that is that they didn't the defense apparently at some point asked if there was an owl feather found and they said no. Not the
there
defense, I'm
was.
sorry, the prosecution.
Right.
And then this neighbor who was like, saw his neighbor getting railroaded and then saw the thing and then put it two and two together. He probably knew there was like crazy owls in the neighborhood and like, hey, this could be from an owl. And then sure enough, there's those owl feathers. it's just a case where it's like 1 second you think he's guilty, the next second you're like,
But
you
if
know.
I mean, they exhume the body. Couldn't they look at the wounds and see what did an animal make this? Like, is there a claw mark? They have to have like examples of owl claws. Are they similar? Like you could probably.
I mean, you could that they were like. I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
like this. Yeah. I mean, the fact she had owl hair and a clump owl feathers and a clump of hair. I mean, and a piece
Yeah.
of wood,
Yeah.
I
And
was like,
so, and there's seven of them, right? So let's
yeah,
say an owl comes down like, right, with like two claws and only four on one talon and three on the other find any purchase in her skull. And she's like running away and like is ripping it off and it holds on and it rips those wounds down to the skull. Okay.
I
And the
know.
bird says, fuck this woman's crazy and flies away, lands on a reindeer and realizes the reindeer's fake. And it's like, what is wrong with this house? And the owl just leaves. And she's left with owl feathers in her hand. And then she's stumbling around. Oh, and blood is just spraying everywhere. Like that makes sense to me.
I think that it's like, okay, remember the case that we covered where it was like the mother was told in the middle of the night that her daughter had been murdered
Mhm.
and then they found out that she had let the college age daughter had let her friend and boyfriend hook up in her bed
Oh
and then
yeah.
that's why right. And
Yeah.
like if you didn't know that backstory, you're like, oh, it's him. When you found it, and then you find out this other piece. So it's like we know stuff like that happens,
Yeah. Well,
and
it's
this
like that
is
other
like
one. It's like that other one where it was all set up. Right? Like the woman like asked for like some kinky sex, and this guy's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll come over." Right? I want to be beaten. I want rough sex. Like, okay. So this guy's doing it, and then he gets killed. Like, you're hurting me. I'm gonna kill you. Whatever. That poor guy
I know, and the woman who
and the
both of them
woman.
were set up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So you
So we
never
know
know,
that this
man.
kind of crazy
You
stuff
never
happens.
know. Like, what if here's the perfect crime for this novelist, stolen valor guy. What if he found out like what owls really fucking love to eat and like sprinkled it in his wife's hair?
I'm sure he would just come over and ask you. Let me see
This
here.
could be the perfect crime, Carolyn, because he's out, right? He's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Alfred plea. Mr. Alfred plea. See you later.
Out. That you're out of all your perfect crimes, that
Yeah, or like
could just be
whatever
it.
whatever the answer is for catnip for cats, whatever that is for owls.
Yeah.
Because when my cats smell catnip, they will attack and destroy anything in their way to get to the catnip. Okay.
Yeah,
So
no.
whatever
Yeah.
the owl version of catnip is, sprinkle a little bit in the
That's
hair.
what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I
What's
think
the likelihood? You have to figure out what the likelihood is of death from a surprise owl attack.
I mean, it's just so weird though that two people and two women in his
Well, that's
life,
the other thing.
the last one to
Next
see
thing we're in Europe. I'm like, what am I doing in Europe right now?
no, I know, but like what are the chances? Like what are the it's so
Low, Carolyn. The chances are very, very low.
I
Okay,
know
they're
that's
okay.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even though you have these other theories, it's like, what? Another woman was, and she had
Seven claw
seven
mark,
wounds
whatever,
in the back
scratch
of her head.
wounds, and was found at the bottom of stairs. And he goes, I guess she fell down. Like that's his go-to. I guess that's his go-to. And I guess that's why we would make poor investigators because we're like, isn't this obvious, people? Come on. And I would have given him the chair like day one, you know? So it's
But
probably
I mean,
better that,
imagine what it's like for the daughters. Like they
yeah.
stood by him the entire time.
Mm.
Like the mother, Kathleen's daughter was like, once she saw the autopsy report and then found out about the, bisexual
Mhm.
liaisons and just that whole thing. And, she was like 86,
Yeah.
wasn't supporting him.
Yeah.
But like, and his two sons, supported him. But I mean, gosh, it's like, it just is like really tough. I mean, that
Yeah.
family was like completely destroyed,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you know who came out of it great? It was the escort. He was like, "Yeah, cool. We were gonna go have sex. Everything under the sun. You name it, I'll do it. Hell yeah."
I know, but just imagine having to testify like that. Like, I think he just was like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Because you have to, or 'cause, like, he doesn't want to get implicated in it. Just go up there and be honest and tell the story. And he didn't see, he's not, there's no shame in it. Great, that's what I do. Yeah, yeah, you name it, done.
I know you know what though? You describing it like that doesn't mean that that's probably how he thought about it. He was
Maybe not,
probably,
right? Maybe not.
he
That's true,
he wasn't an escort anymore. Like he
according to him.
okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Allegedly. Okay.
Okay, I'm just saying. It wouldn't be easy. That would suck. I think he handled it well. I was like,
Wow, I
he
could make so many sex jokes of just from your last sentence. It wouldn't be easy. That would suck. He handled it well.
I know. But you had to let me know, okay? You made the jokes anyway, all right?
I didn't make
Nobody's
the
leaving
jokes.
stuff.
I didn't make the jokes.
Okay.
I said I could make the jokes.
I understand. I
Okay.
understand.
And I just repeated your sentence that you said completely
I,
innocently, but it was just ripe for humor. Right.
I understand. I'm
But
saying
at the end of the day here, this is not a comedy podcast. A woman lost her life.
she did.
Two women lost their lives. And
Yeah, and there's nothing going on from as far as I know about Elizabeth Rutledge's, it was overturned to murder, but
yeah.
you know,
And an Alfred plea is an Alfred plea, and that's a very strange legal mechanism where you're like, all right, there's enough to convict me, but I maintain my innocence.
Mhm.
But I'm looking down the road, you're probably going to get me and I'll go to jail. So I'll just plead to something else and let's just see you later.
I think it works for both defendants and the prosecution.
Yeah, sure.
They
You
didn't
get to
want
close the case, you get a guilty plea. All right, that's good here, and you stay out of jail. All right, whatever.
But I mean, in this case, like they wouldn't have been able to use the imagery that they got from the computer because they
Right.
had taken that wasn't a part of the original search warrant, so that would have
Yeah.
been tossed. All that blood evidence would have been tossed based on,
So what do you think about that guy? What was his motivation?
I think that's it's like what we talk about all the time with DNA and evidence like that when you have a bad actor and you're in this position of power and people are thinking like, yeah, I can trust this guy. And
Right. And see, that's what's so dangerous about it because it calls the whole system into question.
I know, and that's why this case is so crazy. Is because it has all of the layers of like, just when you think and then you can't know, and then this, and then this, and then this, and it's like,
And he got so specific, like with my leg up and hitting a blood source, and it got onto my shorts, and this.
I know, and it was all BS.
Yeah.
So it was all BS.
That's really terrifying. So then your mind goes to, all right, how many innocent people were railroaded by so-called forensic experts?
I know.
And what is the criteria for a forensic expert? Right?
And
what kind of oath do they take? Where are their loyalties?
That is why investigative journalism is so important because they wouldn't have found that out. This guy faked evidence in a murder case where he literally said it was a blood stain and it wasn't. This guy was
Kool-Aid. It was Kool-Aid. No, I'm kidding.
No, I know, but it's like,
yeah. So that's scary. That's really, really scary. It's and to a much lesser degree, not even in the same universe. It's like when this NBA ref got arrested for gambling on games that he was reffing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like now we can't trust, the integrity of the referees in the NBA, which is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, because maybe he owns a loan shark in Vegas. And so he's going to call the game a little tighter in one way, right? Just so they cover the spread. So that like it's that as soon as that is sullied even a little bit, it's like fruit of the poisonous tree, like you can't trust anything else.
But to your point about it's being apples and kumquats, like it's like this is a person's life.
Exactly.
This is a person's like. And what freedom. That guy was getting out of it was probably, he was acting like a superstar, like, yeah, I can make the evidence work for you. He's knuckle bumping the.
No problem. Get me on the stand. Oh, yeah, I know what you need. You good kid. Keep your mouth shut. Whatever.
Big De Niro. Okay.
All right. Well, listen. Obviously, I enjoyed the episode. It was great. Very well told. A lot of twists. A lot of turns. I was surprised like 3 different times. What were the 3 things? the gay thing, the Europe thing, and the owl thing. They all, I was like, what? Oh, and then the crooked expert, forensic blood guy. That, like, holy shit. One of those, one or two good one of those. There were 4 or 5 in this episode. So well done. That was great.
Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Nation, hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please share it. Let people know what's going on over here at Criminal Mischief. Go over to Apple, Spotify, rate, review, leave a comment. Every little engagement with the algorithm helps more than you know. And it just allows more people to discover the show. So we'd appreciate your help there. And until next time, Carolyn, anything you want to add?
Nope.
All right. That's it, everybody. Happy Halloween early. Stay safe out there and enjoy the autumn weather.
Okay, bye.
From Pie in the Sky Media, Criminal Mischief is an EVO production, recorded live in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Brandon Morgan and myself, music by Soundstripe. For EVO Creative, I'm Carolyn Osorio, your writer and host.